Do you ever feel a need to look at the crypto market from another perspective? Not just from the perspective and the view of price action, but from the perspective of buyers and sellers and their emotions? Well, I do, and I found it a very valuable piece of information that we can get through some sentiment analysis. So today, not only that we're gonna take a look at sentiment of the buyers and sellers, but also search trends and how the term cryptocurrency is standing in the interest of people. So is multifactorial crypto market sentiment analysis worth to you? After you subscribe to the channel, let's find out. If you type in a term cryptocurrency in the Google Trends, this is the result that we're gonna get in the last 5 years. We already looked at this chart many times, but one thing I want to point out to you, and no, it's not the bubble of 2017. That's too predictable. What I'm about to show you is something more significant. Why significant? I will now draw a single line that will tell us a story. There it is. So, what is the significance of this line? The significance is happening at this point. This is 3 times that this trend line was touched. Maybe now you can see the significance and the resistance that this line is holding in the search trends of the cryptocurrencies. Every time we touch this resistance line, we are on the value of 19 in interest of people. So what is this metric showing us? You can clearly see that we never went above 19 in the last 5 years. And when we did, we had a massive explosion. This is the type of move that you can expect when this trend line, this humongous resistance, is broken. For now, it's still a big resistance. We touched it 3 years ago in the 2017, a year ago in the June or July in 2019, and just the month before. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is this indicating to us? No matter how big and pompous the talk of a crypto bull market is, and especially the talk of the altcoin market boom, we are still not there. Yes, by the technicals, the bull market has started, but in the interest of people, of the majority of the world population, after we break 19, after you see the interest on this chart going to 20 and above, this is when the real hype will start, and the prices will move in the direction that you never imagined. So this is just another perspective. Do not let your emotions run you. Look at the charts, be clear with the facts, because we always have a map before the move. It's just a matter of us reading it. This is our map in search trends. Charts are showing us always the way. So once again, after we breach 19, prepare to be amazed, not just in Bitcoin, but we are talking about all cryptocurrencies. Let's leave it like this and head to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, where we can discuss some sentiment analysis. We talked in details about Fear and Greed Index on this channel, and the multifactorial crypto market sentiment analysis that it provides. We are currently standing at 39 of this meter, and that is showing us a fear in the market. People are still fearful of the future actions of Bitcoin and its friends, and by the same token, this could be a good buying opportunity, because when people are fearful, you should be considered buying. Last week we were neutral, but last month we were greedy. How sentiment changes fast. If you are new to this channel and don't know what Fear and Greed Index is, a quick glance on what it provides. Let me just state two simple assumptions on why we measure fear and greed. As you know, extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried, and that could be, as I said, a buying opportunity. When investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. So, if you're just using this chart for buying and selling, as I will show you in detail, let's say you would be good and generally in the profits. This chart analyzes the current sentiment of the Bitcoin market and crunch the numbers into a simple meter from 0 to 100. Now, what multi-factors are they considering? What are they using as data sources? They are using volatility. They argue that an unusual rise in volatility is a sign of a fearful market. Number two, they are using volume. For example, when we see a high buying volume in a positive market on a consistent daily basis, the market acts overly greedy and too bullish. They're using social media like Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, the social media of your choice. If there is unusual high interaction rate, results in a growing public interest in the coin, no matter what coin. Factor number 4, dominance. They are using dominance in this sentiment analysis. For example, when Bitcoin dominance shrinks, people are getting more greedy by investing in more risky altcoins. Vice versa, when the Bitcoin dominance rise, you can assume that also the fear of too speculative altcoin investments has come, since Bitcoin is becoming more and more the safe haven of crypto. Number 5, trends. This is the factor that we are also using in our analysis. On Google Trends, we are using their data for various Bitcoin and altcoins related search queries. So the change of search volumes show us the way of people sentiment. This way we are seeing an early sign of fear in the market, and like we in our analysis, they are using it in this index. Now that we know how Crypto Fear and Greed Index function, let's dive into the chart of the one. So this is the plot of the Fear and Greed Index. 0 means extreme fear, 100 means extreme greed. Now those values are hard to get hit, and frankly let's hope we don't hit either of those two extremes. First, let's talk about where we're currently standing in this plot of fear and greed. Just before we dig any deeper, let me mention that this is 1 year timeline, and we are seeing the results all the way to September of last year. Here we are, as we said, we are at 39, touching the support that was touched so many times and discussed even more times on this channel. You can see that this support at around 38, 39 is holding the majority of the moves when we are in this neutral territory. Let me point out to you the box that price moves when a little fear and a lot of neutral emotions are floating in people. This is the box that we discussed many times. By the way, check out our previous videos on sentiment analysis. We are having a lot of those on various videos on various cryptocurrencies, but mainly in our crypto playlist. So we're back in the bounded box, in this prison, people's emotions. We came in beginning of May of this year to live inside this box, then had a fantastic surge to the upside with the Bitcoin breakout and other cryptos. You remember the significant breakout of our biggest resistance levels. And now that we plunged a little, we are back in the box and people are scared. Not extremely scared, of course, believe me. The more extreme fear can be plotted in this chart, but we are on the level of a bull market fear. Let's call it that way. So it's not the bear market fear, where your reason to live doesn't exist anymore, how you're fearful. But on the bull market fear, when you are a little scared and don't know what to do with your future altcoin and crypto Bitcoin investments. When we broke outside of this box, in some way we could predicted that we're gonna come back into it. I presented you already this case with trend lines that are pushing us down. One more time, let's draw the lines of people's emotions. Our first trend line that is pushing us back is a pretty simple one, because it's a trend line that is pushing all the Bitcoin and crypto peaks of human greed down to the neutral and fearful territory. 1, 2, 3. Should we expect a fourth push to the downside in the future? Absolutely. Let's keep a close eye on this trend line, because a few months from now, when we are again in extreme greed, this line could be the sign that we are going down into fearful territory. What is the other trend line that we're talking about? The trend line that was once a support and now a resistance. Give me support, support broken, heavy resistance, and once again heavy resistance. On this conjunction of these two trend lines, we have a huge resistance. Not only that we are pushed by this blue line, but also by this yellow line. So, now that we know about these lines, let's keep a close eye on them, especially on this yellow line, because it is the line that is going through our peaks of extreme greed. Okay, but now maybe you're asking yourself the question that you asked in the beginning: is this multifactorial crypto market sentiment analysis worth to me? Well, absolutely it is, and now I will show you how you can use it in your investing, trading, whatever you're doing. You decide, is my assumption right or wrong? The first thing I want to do is divide the chart into 3 about the same areas. This middle box, we'll call it a neutral box. Our next area is the one in the greed territory, from the 65 to the upside. There you go. This box we'll call a sell box, and by the default you can see the strategy that we are talking about. When you come into this box, try to sell. I think by now you can clearly see where this is going. Let's draw our buy box. Well, now that I drew it, I see that I could use a different colors, not to lead you in misdirection. You might be thinking that red is sell. No, red is buy. And there you have it. Pretty simple. Is this simple enough strategy for you? Absolutely. By this 3 different box, dividing box, when we come into the buy box, you would buy the cryptocurrency of your choice. Let's talk about Bitcoin, for example, where we are in neutral. You would neither buy nor sell. When we are in green box, from the 65 to the upside, you should what? Sell. This is the simplest form of buying and selling that there is. Of course, you can adjust this strategy to your liking. And if you don't want to wait the ultimate opportunities, the people's emotion to come into the buy box, you could buy in neutral box and sell in sell box. For example, now we are in neutral box. If you don't want to wait this perfect opportunity of the red box, hey, you catch the drift. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not a financial advice, just my perspective in my interpretation of the charts. Tweak the strategy for your liking. This is something that should feed your thoughts. A food for thoughts. Every box has a little compartment of food for your thoughts. And you're thinking about buying and selling a lot, don't you? What do you think about all this rambling today that we had about our search trends, about sentiment analysis? Can this help you? Have you ever thought about this way? If you like the video, smash the like button and let me know in the comments. For future videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And until that next video that we are all eagerly awaiting, let's roar.